How you guys doing?
Hey, how are you, man?
So I guess just to start, what does it mean for you to be here as a freshman to be representing the
Man,
team?
I'm grateful for the opportunity for Coach Luke to pick me, and these other guys, just to represent Ole Miss and the football program.
How did he tell you?
He let me know Thursday, called me into his office, and I had no suit. So as soon as that, I had to go and get a suit right after that. But I was excited to hear the news and letting him tell me that.
He was talking about you being, his words, forced into a leadership role really early in your time at Ole Miss. What's it been like, this offseason since the Egg Bowl, being kind of the face of the program in some ways?
I mean, it didn't really feel like force. It's like I wanted it this way. That's why I came. It's part of the reason why I came here. Just being the leader, just doing what you're supposed to be doing, setting an example for the young ones to come, and we've done a great job of that because it's not only me being a leader, it ends up with Momo, Sonoga, Alex Gibbons, and we need leaders in every room to be a successful team and get where we want to get in the future.
Why did you want to come to Ole Miss?
Ole Miss has always been there in my ear since I was in high school, since it was sophomore year, and I never really pictured me being there because I was committed to Pac-12 schools. I was looking at Big Ten. And then after, I guess, my junior year, when I decommitted to Florida, I really wanted to play in the SEC. It just means more to the people there. I could just tell just by visiting Florida and talking to other schools like LSU, and I decided to go with Ole Miss just because, I visited there. It's a very family-oriented spot. Coach Luke is a genuine guy, spoken from the heart, and I'm sure you could. A lot of people can tell by that just by having a conversation with the guy, for sure.
Well, what went into the decommit from Florida? I mean, it was a coaching change.
It was a coaching change, and it just didn't mesh right with me and others. We had a top 3 class going there, but I mean, none of that stuff matters anymore. We've moved on from that. It's a future, and all I'm worried about is winning games for Ole Miss.
But made a right decision.
Yes, sir.
How comfortable are you in Rich Rod's offense right now?
It's the same offense from my senior year when I was at Long Beach Poly. It was a lot of progressional reads, a lot of prolific offense my senior year, and I'd say Matthew Hatchett, my offensive coordinator, and TJ Hushmanzada really helped me to be the player I am today, to get ready for Rich Rod, just because the type of offense Rich Rod runs, it's very, very similar.
What sort of work have you been able to put in this summer to kind of get into the offense?
Just watching film and picking up on getting the chemistry with my receivers, just to pick up on the chemistry to, for route conversions, because they got to know the routes. They got to know defenses just like me, just so they can make their conversions. So I mean, if we're on the same page, that score is going to be ran up for sure.
Everybody talks about the edge that Rich Rodriguez has. You've obviously been around that. How would you put that into words? What does that edge mean?
It's contagious. He preaches that day in and day out of practice. Coach Luke as well. He wants us to play with that hard edge and that savage mentality, and it's very, very contagious. Just because, the mocks. It's not only me. Everyone just blows it up just because of the Mississippi State game. But behind the scenes, it's Elijah Moore. That kid's a hard worker, and it rubs off, and the young guys see that. Even though we're young too. We're going to be the ones that have to step up. So, I mean, I guess it's just a different outlook for the younger guys, and it's only positive.
Hey, Matt, you've only got like a 4-game sample size from last year, but what do you think you learned the most about yourself and SEC football?
It's not necessarily faster. It's just, you got to think faster. The player, of course, everyone gets more athletic and all that, but, I just feel like you got to be on top of your game more than you were in high school, way more than you were in high school, because I believe the SEC West is the next closest step from the NFL. And, Alabama's linemen, Georgia's linemen, or Alabama's linemen, South Carolina's linemen, like those guys run just as fast as me, and they're twice as big as me. And, it's just you knowing your playbook and knowing your reads and knowing where to go with the ball when they give you something that you don't expect.
Matt, you were at the Manning Passing Academy with
I was, but I got stomach flu Friday, and I went back that next morning.
Oh, so you weren't able to spend much
I
time?
I threw Friday. It was a good experience. Got to throw and have Archie and Emmanuel, pretty much all of them watch, and just getting to know a few of the other quarterbacks.
Did you talk to Kelly Bryant much?
No.
I know you weren't around him as much as some of these other guys, but what was your interactions like with Ross Bjork, and what did you see him do for the student athletes?
I mean, Ross Bjork kept us first. He was Ross is a good guy for sure. He's always been one of those guys who, if he needed something or like if he wanted to tell me something, he'd never text me. He'd say it to me in person. He'd come up to me and find me in person and really have a conversation with me about whatever it is that he wanted to talk about. And I know his son Peyton, you know, he's a good kid, and just, you know, getting close with just like Sean Peyton, like just playing catch with him and stuff like little things like that, you know, just helped me form a relationship with Ross.
There was a lot of turnover in the receiving core last year. Did those 4 games help you develop a rapport with a couple of those younger guys like Moore you mentioned?
I mean, you know, like, not necessarily develop a rapport with them, and just getting my feet wet. And I know a lot of the other receivers did as well. So I feel like we got a good amount of confidence going in.
How different was this offseason for you? Just wanting to start early?
It's just a lot of preparation. You know, a lot of preparation went into it, a lot of film, the whole 9 yards, to waking up at 6 a.m. to doing the extra stuff when you don't want to do it.
What kind of stuff does Rich Rod do to kind of make it easier on you guys?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nah, if you know the way he coaches, he's a perfectionist. He won't stop until it's done right. And me personally, I respond well with that. That makes me want to be better.
Stylistically, how is that different than Phil last year?
Phil was more quiet. Phil was definitely more quiet, and not a lot of stuff bothered Phil. But Rich Rod, every little thing bothers him. Like, you just gotta watch practice, and you'd see it. For sure.
Usually in a quarterback room, there's like a couple veterans, a couple freshmen, but you guys have all freshmen essentially. Like when you have questions, when you wonder about the college game, how do you bounce it off each other when nobody has experience? You know what I mean? Where do you go for? Is it just coaches, or what do you do?
Like I said, it's just the confidence that you need. It's contagious. Of course, the younger guys look to me, the guys that just got here, and I mean, we're all in this thing together. We're a unit. We're only as strong as our weakest link, and right now we're all on the same page. I believe if I were to get hurt right now, I know I'd have a good amount of confidence that those kids, either one of them, doing it, because they're right there. It's just them having the confidence of going out there and doing it. They're smart. Like Kincaid Dent, John Rice Plumley, and Grant Tisdale. They're smart. They're bright kids, and they understand the offense, and they know what it takes. It's just they don't have that experience. They don't have the luxury of having those 4 games like I did. And I feel like that's what's just going to make them even better, is just going out there and doing it.
A few minutes ago, you said people are still bringing that state game up and what happened to you. What are the conversations like when people bring up your involvement in that whole situation?
I mean, not necessarily today. It's just, they just think it's, I just believe I'm a passionate player, and, especially in that type of game right there, in that type of environment, between those white lines, I'm not going to back down from anything, and I know my teammates aren't either.
Matt was talking earlier about your competitiveness, your passion. Where do you think that comes from?
I feel like I've always had that about me. It's just coming into the SEC West and being on this type of level, I feel like it takes in a whole, you got to bring a different type of level into you.
Do you have to work to control that a little bit? I mean, obviously you can't,
you just got to, you got to know when to stop. You got to know when to stop, and really just know when to stop, and keep your calm. And there's a difference between being competitive and being passionate to being just ignorant.
Does it motivate you guys that everyone talks about how young you are? And
100%.
Most people are talking about 4 or 5 wins, that kind of thing. Do you
I
guys talk about that a lot?
I have that posted right in my locker for that. I look at it every day. Everyone calls us inexperienced. Everyone calls us young, but nobody knows what type of potential we have except the people inside that building.
What exactly do you have posted in your locker? What does it say?
The Memphis, they have us winning, or have us losing by 7, or something 7. I know they have us losing, and it's just right there, and I see it every day.
How much does Matt encourage you to tap into that confidence?
It's just, when it's needed, when times are tough. Coach Rod always preaches, get comfortable being uncomfortable. When we're running sprints, when we're doing something we don't want to do, when we're tired, that's when it needs to come out.
Matt talked a little bit about how the way you guys are learning is different than maybe years past. You got your iPad out and film and stuff. How is it different now than even when you were in high school?
I mean, I think in high school you don't really need to watch. I mean, of course it's good to watch film, but like you can get away with not watching film in high school just because like it's high school. Not everyone's athletic like that, and you know, depending on what type of talent you have as well, because that's a big thing. And you know, it's just transitioning from high school to SEC West, to SEC football. It's just you need to know what you're doing, or you're gonna get killed.
Is watching more film and breaking it down being
it makes it so much slower. It makes the game so much slower, and you know when things are coming. You pick up on their tendencies. It's for sure makes it 10 times easier. And Rich Rod's very good at that.
How much different is Oxford, is Mississippi than California?
Very.
What are some of the biggest
shoot.
things that surprised you?
From the slang, the fixing to do something, the yawns, the cowboy boots, the polo shirts, the hats with the khakis above the knees, and the boat shoes. Yeah,
What's your favorite Southern food?
The Mississippi Gulf Coast topping on the steak. I don't know if that's like a known thing around here, but it's pretty good up over there.
Matt, you talked about chemistry with the receivers. Is there any one particular receiver that you feel like you're just zoned in with?
I would like to say Brandon Sanders and Jonathan Mingo and Elijah Moore. Those guys are going to be key players for us next year, for sure.
Which one of those freshmen have kind of stood out to you?
Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah.
That kid is going to be the next big receiver out of this.
Matt was talking about the difference this year. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily affect you as much with the scholarships and all that. But from a player's perspective, is it nice not kind of having that cloud over the team? It's just one less thing that's there, I guess.
I mean, we've always had, you know, because we love the game of football, we're gonna give it our best last year. But I mean, this year I guess it's a whole different meaning just because we know, you know, we can get a prize at the end, and you know, we want that. We haven't been to a bowl game since I don't even know when, 2014, 2013. But I know, you know, we have big plans this season.
It feels a little bit different.
Yeah, you know, the intensity, from working out just to, you know, the attitude of the players around the locker room. It's gotten, you know, it's a winning team mentality.
More positive, more upbeat, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been told multiple times you're the only underclassman here. Do you feel like that's a vote of confidence for you from your head coach?
I mean, I just feel like, you know, he made me the guy. I'm responsible for the team. You know, I'm just happy for him picking me for this. You know, representing the football program, and not only the football program, Ole Miss as a whole. And it's just showing him that he trusts me.
How have you grown as a leader inside that locker room since that last season?
You know, I feel like I'm more outspoken, for sure. Because I'm not going to tell AJ and DK what to do. They're not going to listen to me. But I mean, now I gotta say and stuff. And now we're on the same page. And as long as we stay what we're doing right now, we should be good.
Matt,
I think we can learn something from your recruiting story about quarterback recruiting. 2 years ago, you and Justin Fields were kind of both feeling Georgia. He made his move, you made yours. Yeah, and then now, he's not even at Georgia. What do you think we can learn from that about quarterbacks and making their moves and wanting to be
just, you know, yeah, of course, a lot of players want to go to where their coaches are, but you know, coaches aren't going to stay there for as long. Like, they're not going to be there as long as you are, if you're lucky. If they are, you're lucky. But you know, I feel like you should go somewhere where you have an opportunity to play. Well, where you know the depth chart, you know those quarterbacks, you know you can beat them. I feel like you need to go to where you have the opportunity to play. It doesn't matter who the coach is. I mean, it matters in a sense of, oh, I'm gonna be there for at least a year, so I gotta, you know, show what I can do to that coach or for that coach. And you know, like I said, having the opportunity to play is big.
You're a West Coast guy. You know, how much have you kind of watched Tua Tagovailoa's development and what he's done even the last year? And is that something like you obviously hope to achieve one day, kind of?
You know, I haven't watched much about him, but I've heard a lot about him, and you know, I've trained with, I've seen him throw a little bit, and you know, kid's got great footwork, great work ethic. I've heard, and I heard he's a really good kid. Just from, you know, I've met him before when I took my official at Alabama, and I know Jordan's good friends with him, and Jordan's told me what type of person he is, and you know, he's nothing but a good kid.
And I guess, you know, seeing that rise so quickly, I mean, I know you were a highly rated recruit as well. What's that like? You kind of when you go into a situation like that, do you expect to have that kind of success, or can that even
say that again?
His success so quickly last year, first year starter, that kind of thing, Heisman runner-up. Did any of that from the outside surprise you, or did you kind of have a feeling that?
No, I mean, it's Alabama. They got a lot of talent everywhere. So I mean, it's not surprising, and as do we. But you know, we're young and inexperienced, as everybody says. And you know, I can't wait to just show them what we could do.
Matt, you lost. What's your confidence level like? How do you think the new guys?
I mean, there's always going to be people coming in and out. We're going to be young. You know, we got Eli Johnson, center, who's proven himself. You know, a lot of players. Our left tackle, Ben, not left guard, Ben Brown, who started last year, and he's a big piece of the pod. Same with Alex Gibbons. That's my left tackle. And we'll probably have two linemen who aren't experienced, but I know that they'll be ready and do what they need to do for us to be successful.
Jake Fromm said